Satellite measures find that nearly half of China's biggest cities are slowly sinking. And Shanghai these are beautiful pictures of Shanghai, has already sunk about 9 feet over the past century. Almost half of China's major cities are sinking, and it's putting millions of locals at risk of flooding, according to a new study published in the journal Science this week. The study found that 45% of China's urban land was sinking faster than 3 millimeters a year, while 16% was sinking at a rate of more than 10 millimeters a year. The study authors looked at 82 Chinese cities with populations of more than 2 million and used radar pulses from satellites to identify any changes in the distance between the satellite and the ground, and then they measured how the city's elevations had changed between the years 2015 and 2022, and they found that China's largest city, Shanghai, was continuing to subside despite already sinking around 3 meters, that's about 9-10 feet over the past 100 years. Cities such as Beijing and Tianjin were also particularly affected. Now, what causes this sinking? There are a number of factors leading to the subsidence, but Robert Nichols, a professor of climate adaptation at the University of East Anglia, told BBC that he believed that water extraction was probably the dominant reason. He said in China, there's a lot of people living in areas that have been fairly recently sedimented, geologically speaking. So when you take out groundwater or you drain the soils, they tend to subside. The paper also suggested that the resolution to the issue could lie in the long-term sustained control of groundwater extraction. In a comment article also published in Science, Nichols warned that subsidence jeopardizes the structural integrity of buildings and critical infrastructure and exacerbates the impacts of climate change in terms of flooding, particularly in coastal cities where it reinforces sea level rise. Subsidence already cost China over 7.5 billion won, which is around $1.05 billion a year, Reuters reports. The problem is not confined to China, though. Another paper published February said that around 6.3 million square kilometers, or that's about 2.4 million square miles, of land around the world was at risk of subsidence, with Indonesia one of the world's most affected countries, the worst affected countries. Parts of the US have also suffered from the problem, with more than 17,000 square miles of land across 45 states directly affected, according to the United States Geological Survey, USGS. And according to the USGS, more than 80% of the identified cases of subsidence in the US occurred due to the exploitation of underground water. The increasing development of land and water resources threatens to exacerbate existing land subsidence problems and initiate new ones, he said. The article was originally published on Business Insider by Cameron Manley. It's here on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.